Disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Do not attempt this at home. Vitiated how-to will not be responsible because you decided to be a cheap ass and not hire a professional.
On with the show.
How to grind meat with your Emeril Past and Beyond machine. Well, first you got to have the attachment to grind the meat. Second, you got to put it together. Set that off to the side. Yeah, I know some people say stick it in the freezer. That's plastic and that auger is plastic. Even though that's a metal rod, that's plastic. So yeah, you got to do that, and then you got to do the meat when it's frozen a little bit, then it's going to break. Nah. You set all this together. Next thing you're going to want to do, cut your pieces into manageable pieces. I'm doing probably 4 pounds of this, so get out of the way, Nosy. Nosy here thinks he's getting some. Get out of here. So that way you can grind it to there. And I stuck them in the freezer. These were in there for 30 minutes. They're kind of hard, but I wanted them that way, so as I'm doing this, it'll be all right. I'm going to try it 2 ways. I'm going to do it one without ice, and then I'm going to try it with ice, because these are pretty frozen, not solid, but good enough. That there, I stuck in the freezer too while I was gone. So we'll see how it turns out. Next thing you're going to want to do is turn your machine on. Since I touched that with one hand, I got to do this with this hand. And then stick that in there. Now, if your hamburger comes out like mush like this, and it's having a hard time going through, then that means you've got the blade in backwards. Then you're gonna have to flip the blade around the way it should be. And then voila. And you just add or do whatever. Oh shit. Haha, dumbass. And that's pretty much it. You can use ice chips, because see, my meat's, some of it's frozen kind of, and some of it ain't, so the ice kind of keeps it cool a little bit. But you cannot use nothing bigger than that, because it will tear that plastic all to hell. I might be pushing it with that. So if you got something that's not real frozen ice, I also gotta say, my refrigerator is one of the best refrigerators that was ever made, because that ice right there, it's way frozen. I think my freezer is like -15, -20. So yeah, that ice is pretty damn hard. Even like that, it's pretty hard. So if you have something that's not real solid, but just below freezing, then it's fine. But that there, it's kind of hard. But it seems to be working pretty good. Come out uniformed. I'm just mixing different fats, combination to what my desired texture is as far as the fat ratio, but you do whatever you want, and you don't want to be cranking too much. And also, you see the small pile of meat, rest of my meat's still in the freezer, so when I'm done with this, I'll put it in a bowl and stick it in the fridge. And my refrigerator is set at 34 degrees is what my refrigerator's set at, so I got a cold ass refrigerator and freezer. And that's pretty much it. Just take your time with it and don't let that get too hot, because then you'll have problems. And I seen people do it, that meat that was refrigerator temperature, and it didn't turn out too well. That's why I froze mine. So thanks for stopping by. This is actually what I did. I got a beef brisket for $2.50 a pound, a big one. So I got that, and then I had other steak meat that I had that was pretty good. So I just went ahead and tried it. I got a lot more of it, but this is all I did this time. It's not bad. It's probably about 6-7 pounds. The key to it is you gotta take your time. Take your time. And if you have any problems and it gets stuck or anything, of course you know how the forward and reverse works. If you don't, you got problems. Forward grinds it out, and backwards ungrinds it a little bit. So that way you can do what you need to do, adjusting everything. For reference, that little container holds 2 pounds of ground beef. I've weighed it, I've checked it. As long as you're not compacting it, you'll get at least 2 pounds. If you compact the hell out of it, you probably get more, but I was just trying to do a ballpark because when I seal, I do 2 pounds at a time. So, just a reference. Overall, that's a good little setup. It's kind of alright. But it don't like certain cuts of meat because it popped the plastic screw off. It popped that off the front of it because the cut of meat I was using, it didn't like the meat and fat together, and it wasn't even really that hard. So yeah, if you plan on doing a lot of it, get you an actual meat grinder. I actually did